Hey everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Alan Wake for this terrifying Thursday. My fellow horror fans, my fellow fanatics of the macabre, welcome back. If you are enjoying this, please sit back, relax, throw in your favorite headphones, turn out those lights, grab your favorite snacks, and close those blinds, and let's get into the spooky, shall we? We're picking up right where we left off, trying to reach Mirror Peak to meet up with this kidnapper. Get a battery in there. Reload, reload, reload. Pick up some more revolver ammo. Well, today episode we are gonna go over the pages we've found so far. Trust no one in the dark. Come on. Climb up. Okay. In the dark. Alright. I feel like I'm missing something. Come, I don't think I can climb up there. In last episode, if you folks remember, he did say we had to go through this building. Hope everyone is doing well today. I'm recording this on Tuesdays like I normally do. But still not 100% from that flu. Oh. Ladder. Coffee thermos. Follow. Manuscript page. My battery's limit's reached.
There was no way the flashbang grenades were standard power company equipment.
Does that? Not something you typically see at a power company. Okay. I was wondering if I would see any more of those hidden caches around. Go towards the light. But the arrow pointed this way. Get into the light, get into the light, get into the light.
I had no real plan. I was going to give the kidnapper all the manuscript pages I had for Alice. If that wasn't enough, I'd hold him at gunpoint and make him talk.
Okay. Whoa. House. Need to get inside. Whoa! guys are getting more and more aggressive. Light. Light good. Alright.
The dark presence was moving ahead of me in the same direction I was going. A cold feeling settled itself in the pit of my stomach. Was it going for Alice?
These crosses indicate people have died here. Many.
The graveyard shift may cause cancer.
The place was dead, a ghost town. Had been for decades, maybe a century.
Gray Peak Gorge. Originally founded in 1928, the Gray Peak Gorge mining town was one of the permanent settlements the Bright Falls Mining Company built for its workers. The nearby graveyard is a testament to the dangerous miners faced on a daily basis. Most of the men who lost their lives over the years here were buried here, a grim reminder to be careful for those who remained. Gray Peak Gorge was abandoned almost overnight when the Bright Falls Mining Company closed its doors in 1970. I'm going to see if there's a way into this building. It does not look like there is. Okay. End this episode, folks, and go through our manuscript pages of what we discovered in the last few episodes.
Sarah trusted her gut, and her gut said Agent Nightingale was an asshole. He felt wrong, and it wasn't just the smell of stale booze. It was in the way he flourished his badge, pulled rank, the look in his eyes when he wanted answers. Where was Alan Wake? What was this about an accident? Where was his wife? And most importantly, why did she let Wake go? He wouldn't answer her questions. Federal business was all he'd say. The pipe wrenched itself loose from the bridge's steel framework. Wrapped in darkness, it floated in midair, twitching. For a moment, I didn't understand what I was looking at. The heavy object lurched at me with impossible force. I threw myself out of the way, but just barely. When I turned my flashlight on it, it shook in a dark rage before it flew at me again. I slammed the door shut right in his smug face. He pleaded for me to open the door. True to form, the asshole actually thought I would obey. I had no sympathy left, no guilt either, not for him. I took a moment to savor the scream. I bet I had a smile on my face. It was all that I had time for. The dark presence was inside the lodge with me. The darkness surged towards me, sucking everything loose from the ground into its depths, tugging at my clothes. I saw the flare the kidnapper had dropped and threw myself towards it just as I felt my feet leave the ground. The darkness embraced me with the force of a tornado. Somehow I managed to light the flare. The darkness roared and cast me away. I fell toward the dark waters of the lake far below. Danny had stepped out, but what stumbled back in was something else. Something alien. A monster. Walter tried to kill it. First with his fists, then a chair. It wouldn't die. Instead, it kept coming, unaffected by the beating it had taken. After Walter managed to kick it down the cellar stairs, fear took over. He ran, got behind the wheel, gunned the engine. The booze wouldn't make him forget, but he knew he had to try. With Nightingale gone and the night wind blowing in through the broken studio window, Maine stared at Sarah. The sheriff looked away. Maine's voice shook with barely controlled anger. That boy's doing more drinking than thinking. I hope you know what you're doing, Sarah. He's got a sickness in his eyes. You take my word for it. He wants Wake for a reason, and it's not for anything good. When Thomas Zane fell for Barbara Jagger, it happened fast. She was young, vibrant, and beautiful, full of life. He had never been a very happy man, and without any seeming effort, she had changed all that. Zane felt good for the first time in his life. Everything she did was another piece of a jigsaw puzzle he hadn't even known he'd been missing. And best of all, she made the words flow, strong and sharp. She was his muse. Some of the Taken retained echoes of their former selves, but these were just the nerve twitches of a dead thing. Nothing remained but a shell covered and filled with darkness. In most cases, these puppets were enough for the purposes of the dark presence. But for anything more elaborate, as with the writer, it was different. It needed his mind. And so rather than taking him over completely, it merely touched him. Things were never as simple in real life as in fiction. I had lost count of the times I had wished there'd be a clear reason for my writer's block. Something to fight, something to lash out on. There wasn't. I was filled with doubt. I was nothing like the hero in my books. Alex Casey had gone through his life with single-minded determination, never wavering from his goal. Even now, I was angry at myself, angry at Alice, angry at Barry. I was fumbling and I had no plan. For Mott, spying on the writer on the ferry had been a disappointment. His boss had made Wake out to be something special, but Mott hadn't been impressed. He'd gotten a good long look at the wife, though, and he liked what he saw. Mott had fantasized about goading Wake into a fight, but it hadn't happened. Still, he'd get his chance to see if the writer had anything in him. He'd been promised as much.
And that is where we are going to wrap this episode of Alan Wake, folks. Subscribe down below. This is the wrap up of today's Terrifying Thursday. If you would like to help us out on the channel, share with your friends on social media. We're working on reaching 200 subs by the end of the year. As always, please make sure to hydrate. Medicate if you have to. Eat some good food. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to each other. And don't let your dreams just be dreams. Make your dreams a reality. I believe in you, and I know others do as well. Until the next episode, this is Callan Hale, signing off.